Hello and welcome. This is Chrisanne. I'm coming at you from Elemental Energies with Chrisanne on my deck. It's always so fun to do videos out here on my deck. So we are going to be doing some how-to. I use my little printer for my labels. So this is, it's called the NIIMBOT. Kept this NIIMBOT. They sell it on Amazon. I have seen it on Temu too. So this is my, and I love this, I use it all the time. This is my little printer. It has a spot in here to put the labels right there. It prints without ink, so it's one of those things. It prints without ink, so I don't have to change ink cartridges or any of that type of thing. I only have to buy these specialty rolls of labels. These aren't cheap. You can get them on sale. You know, you can look for different ones. These have flowers on them. I have some that have fish. I have some that have all different types of things, and then I have plain ones as well. So when you get the ones with designs, they have 4 designs on them, and they come in 2 different size labels. I am not sponsored whatsoever. I would love to be. I wish I was, but I'm not sponsored. This is just something that I have used for the past more than 2 years, and it has held up quite well. It is USB rechargeable with this. It did not come with the case. The case I did buy separately. And I want to say, I didn't look before I started this video, and I should have. But I want to say I've seen this anywhere between the $25 price point up to the $50 price point. I've seen the case in the $11 price point range. And the little stickers, label stickers, are approximately $5 a roll. Sometimes I get them a little bit cheaper, sometimes they're a little bit more, depending on what's on them and the size of the actual label itself. So a finished label, I keep them in here. Let me grab this. So a finished label looks like this. So I put these on the back of all my cards. Do I have a stamp? Of course I have a stamp. Do I like this? Of course I like this. I think sometimes this is just a little bit more professional looking, and the stamp sometimes goes through, the ink goes through or shows through my card, depending on what I'm doing. These don't. So you keep all of that in consideration. So handmade by me, and then I put my website on it. So I put that on the back of all of my cards, or whatever it is that I'm making. Now I am making, if you tuned into my video the other day, we're making these have stickers. Let me show you. It's this little bag that has a handmade pen by me, some of the waterproof stickers, I think there's 30 of them, and then a tumbled stone. I want to make a little label to go on this, or to go on a tag that I'm going to do. I haven't decided if I'm going to stick it to this directly or if I'm going to make a little tag to hang off of this. So anyways, that's beside the point. Right now, I just want to show you how to use this, that this is an option. There's so many on the market. This is the one that I happened to purchase, like I said, over 2 years ago. And it has an app. All of these are Bluetooth connected to your phone, to your iPad, whatever. Via Bluetooth, you can pull up the app. So let's pull up the app. So it's right here, the NIIMBOT app. I just made some of these because I was testing it out here to make sure it was going to work out here. I've never used it outside before. So let me go back to the beginning here. So in the beginning with this app, it recognizes what labels, let me pull this a little closer. it recognizes what labels I have loaded in my machine. That is correct. I do have these loaded into my machine. Before I started this, it asked me to connect the machine, and all I did was hold down this till it lit up blue. There it is. That's how I do the Bluetooth connectability. I believe this is still connected right here. See, it made that little noise. So yeah, so next thing I have to do on this app, it's asking me, is this the right one? Yes, this is the right one. Let's design with this. Now I could come over here. You see how this one has the bird? On this roll of labels, there's a bird, there's two different color birds, a blue one and a pink one, and then two different color flowers. Make sure you can see this. Right here. I hit that button and I can select. Let's just go with this. Okay, oops, wrong way. Let's get that back out there so now you can see this. So I've selected, here's the placement of the pink flowers. I don't have a choice where the placement is on that because it is already printed on the label. If it wasn't printed on the label, I'll show you a different one for that later. You gotta remind me. Okay, so let's pick our text right here. I hit the text button. So what do I want to put on this? So I want to put waterproof stickers, return, handmade pen, crystal, and then my website. Now, is this all going to fit? No, it's not going to fit. Oops, a minute. Okay, quite extensive. It's very long, and I can choose how I want this aligned. I want it so I can click all these. Okay. Style. Content. Let me go back to the alignment here. And we are going to, see this little blue dot? That's what I'm moving. So I can come to the blue dot and I can move this. I can extend it here. I can move all of this around here. This is going to be super tiny. I can come and I can realign things right here. Let's do the font. Let's change the font. Yeah, so we want it in English. Style. And then, you know what? I want to click so that it's middle aligned. That's going to be super tiny. So, well, I think that's going to be what it's going to be because I need all of this information on here. This is how I do it. All right, and then let's come back over here. Nope, I'm good with that. That is going to make it. Okay, we're going to leave that there. Okay, so what I'm looking at is I'm looking at to make sure it stays within these lines right here. And it is. I'm looking to make sure it's not going to be in the way of this flower. And it is. So let's do a test print. I don't know why that double click thing is still there. So I only want one. I don't. Oh, it is still there. I don't like that. Why is that? Oh, I know why. I was supposed to click in that bubble. That's all right. Let's get rid of that. Once it's down here, it's fine. Done. Let's delete that. Now I can choose how many I want to print. I want one for right now because I want to test it. There. It is tiny, but you know what? I think it's going to need to be. Let me go back and see if I can make it just a smidge bigger. This we don't need. So as long as we move it here, it's fine. Yeah, I like it bolder, so I want the bold on. And I am okay if some of this is over the flower stem a little bit. So let's do one of these as a test print. There. It's a little bit bigger. Whoops, sorry, now you can see it. It's a little bit bigger than the last one. And you know what? I'm still going to use it. So let's do 10 of these. And then it just goes through and prints them. And then when I'm done, I tear it like that. Now, you know what, before I move on, let me be printing 10 more while I'm doing something else here. So I have in here some labels that don't have any, any little picture on them. They're a little skinny, they're a little shorter. So let's try these. This one's already open. Oh no, it's not, that's a different one. Let's use this one. So here's my 20 labels. If I wanted to save this and print it again, I can certainly do that. It will keep that information here. That's not what I'm going to do. So to open it up, I do this button right here, open this up, pop this out, take this off, make sure that's stuck down, and then when I put it in here, I'm putting it in with this being over here like this. Just like that. Let me close it. Now, see, it's recognized it. Use it. So there, now it has changed the sort of layout here. So let's come in, let's go back so we can edit it. Here's my words. If I want let's don't save this one. Let's come back here. Here's this. We're going to create a new one right here. We are going to add an icon. And I like to use some of the flower ones. That's, oh, that leaf, that's pretty too. Let's use that leaf right there. So I selected that. Let's move that up here. Let's get rid of these words. This I want to make a little bit smaller. I want to move it right there. This so let's do text. Why it keeps doing that? Oh, that's not what I wanted. Font. Yep. Content. It's not letting me print. Double click to edit, which I am. Oops. Okay. We'll do that one. Then we'll come back over here. Why is it doing that? Get rid of that one. Text. There we go, finally. Oh, yay. Okay, let's do waterproof stickers. Handmade pen. Oops. Crystal. Should have done and crystal. Okay, let me do that. And now let's do the website. Okay. We can move this so that it partially prints. We can move this There, kind of fit it in a little bit. All right, let's do one of these. Yeah, I don't like it. Okay. Let's put that up there a lot smaller. Let's put that there. Let's make this bold. Oh, much better. There. I mean, that one just took entirely far too long to do. Normally they don't take that long. But this one you can see it did cut it off a little bit here, but it doesn't look like it's cutting it off here. But it did cut it off here, and likewise, this cut it off here when it didn't look like it was cutting it off here. So you have to have it in the space a little bit more than you think you would. Let's try that one. Yep, that one came out great. Yep. Okay. This is one of the ways that you can play around with making labels for your art, for your cards, for whatever. And you can use ones that already have the thing on it, or you can make them have the little picture icon on it. Normally it doesn't take me this long to make them. I have to tell you, that one took me a little bit longer than they normally do. But I like the machine. I find it to be versatile for what I need. For my purposes, this works perfectly fine. I don't use it like labels for packaging or anything like that. I use it for my artwork and strictly for my artwork. So I hope this gives you another idea. I do have a couple other machines that print sort of bigger kind of things, but right now I'm only talking about this machine. This is how this works for me. Yes, this one did take a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but that being said, that's how I do it. So let me know if you have this, what you think of it. Do you have one that does something like this? Maybe you like it better. What do you think? I'm really happy to hear comments, suggestions. I'm always happy to hear that. So thank you so much for tuning in. Take care. Be free.